Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at testing a claim that New Finish, better than a wax ceramic coating, has on its bottle that it lasts up to 100 car washes. Now, I looked on their site, I could not find any asterisks with specific details of what that means. So we're going to do how do I put this? We're going to give it the best chance it's got to meet that claim. So that means washing it with an insanely gentle brush, using insanely gentle soap, and we're going to test the ceramic coating part of the name with two other ceramic coatings. Now you'll see I've got these little applicators here. Typically, a ceramic coating will harden in the applicator. So when you apply it, the cloth you use to wipe it off, the applicator you use to spread around, like a suede cloth or a finger mitt or whatever it is, they're toast. They're done. You cannot reuse them. Or in the case of the microfiber, you downgrade it to like engine wiping duty. You know, like this is Seaquartz UK 3.0. It is hardened. There's a line here. It is rock solid. Seaquartz Light. Still, there's a line. You can see it. It's hardened. Both of these harden. This one, nothing. Trigger. Still works. So, we have established that this does not have the same hardening abilities as these two guys. So now we're going to test the washing claim, and doing so using a test panel. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks of curing inside the garage. So we're talking best case scenario. Again, we're giving this every chance it can to meet its claim of 100 washes. Gentle soap, gentle brush, full cure, full prep, polished, panel wiped, thoroughly panel wiped and polished. So there's nothing on this panel. And both these guys got the same treatment because, you know, with this guy, you shouldn't really be washing your car for the first 2 weeks because why would you? It's got a fresh coating on it. This one isn't quite as sensitive, but again, the less you touch it, the better. So we're going to be testing this claim. We're going to send it through the wash. I'm going to film it in a way that isn't tedious for people to watch, 100 washes in a row. I might punch in and out. I might do a time lapse. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this. That's tomorrow's problem. But yeah, so, and the whole 2 reasons why I'm doing this. I'm not picking on New Finish per se, but when you put 100 washes and ceramic coating on the bottle, I need to compare you to something, and ceramic coatings are what I'm going to compare it to, because it's not a ceramic spray. It's not a ceramic spray coating. It's not a ceramic detailer. Oops. It's not a seal and shine, whatever the hell that means. But they said spray coating 100 washes. Or sorry, ceramic coating 100 washes. Catch myself here with my typos. So we're going to test those things. These guys are legit. The only difference that might give this a leg up and these guys a leg down is that this and this have both expired. Their expiration dates were back in May. This was never opened before it expired. And by checking on some forums and reading around a bit, as long as it's still clear liquid without any jelly chunks or anything like that, it should technically still be fine. And it's been in the garage since I bought it. I have not taken it out of here. I bought it for a detail that never materialized, so I've just had it here without a real good reason to use it because I was planning on doing it later in the year. This I've had for a while, and I've used it in quite a few tests, and I've done a whole car with it. So there's not a ton left, but it is performing still. So we'll see how that goes. But either way, we've got a test panel. As you can see, you've got UK, Quartz Light, and New Finish, and we'll just go over it with the properly diluted wash soap until we get an answer. I'm going to go until we hit 100 washes or this fails. Yeah, because if it fails before 100 washes, I'm going to save myself the time. But that's how we're going to handle this. So again, these have been applied, cured. Everything's good to go. Tickety-boo, like all the things that you would do for a proper prep have been done. And we're giving it the best case scenario to meet that claim. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everyone, it's time for the main event. We've got our panel here, some buckets just to catch the water, obviously the hose on this side, and the bucket with our brush to wash it. Geon Bade Essence mixed in there at somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000 to 1. It's really hard to get a mil out of it. It's super thick, but could be a little on the strong side, but no big deal. I've got a notepad aside to count my washes, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse this whole thing. So, and I'll throw up a 5 or a 10 or whatever count as we go. But anyway, let's get on with it. That's about where I'm gonna call it. It's slowed down enough. It's not terribly slow, but it's pretty slow. Comparatively speaking, here's how the other two guys look. So you know, all considered, it did a lot. I don't even know how many that was because my way of counting it fell apart pretty quickly. So I'm actually gonna have to rewatch that and slow it down a bit and just count it manually. But that's where I'm gonna call that one for now. And I'll come punch back in here once I count it, and then we'll discuss. Okay, so after going through the footage and slowing it down and counting it to the best of my abilities, it's kind of a little tough because the time lapse is all jittery. So I was trying to count how many times I'd rinsed the section off, but it was over 200. I washed it over 200 times using the brush. So yes, new finish does last 100 washes. Now, we gave it the best case scenario, and it lasted in that. When you throw in the real world scenario of sitting outside in the sun and the cold and getting sprayed with salt and all the other crap that's out there, and then you factor in washing it with something more abrasive like a wash mitt with potentially a stronger soap or a different soap, because again, they've mentioned nothing about what detergents, so it may not last 100 washes. It may only last 50 or 20, depending on how you're doing it, but they can state that it does last 100 washes, because I got over 200. I think I counted like 260 washes or something like that. And of course, compared to the ceramic coating and the ceramic light coating, they performed much better. So when you're looking at this, it is not the same thing as even a light coating, let alone a full-blown coating. It is not as strong. And by the 200 or 220th or whatever it happened to have been, it was slowing down, and to the point where I would have called it. I would have, looked into reapplying, and in the real world, who knows what that means. Obviously, we're gonna have to test it, and that will be coming up in the next little while. But I'm still picking my competitors in my sections, so got more time to do on that yet. But yes, New Finish does last 100 washes with a big old asterisk, with perfect prep, 2 weeks of full cure, washed with the most gentle, medium, and gentle soap, back to back with no exposure to sunlight, UV, hot, cold, bugs, tar, salt, iron, nothing. Sure, in a vacuum, it'll last 100 washes. Means nothing in the real world. So, and so will a ceramic coating. Whoop-de-doo. Anyway, been a fun one. An interesting one. Took a while to do. Obviously, 2 weeks curing, but we've tested the claim, and it is technically true. There you go. All right. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.